What's up, beautiful people? Welcome back to the Manny K Way. My name is Manpreet Kaur, Manny K for short, and I make weekly videos on self and spiritual development. Today's video is all about what you get to do when life gets hard. I'm going to have a couple of reminders in here, and I'm going to have some actionable tools and resources and some of the steps for you guys to be able to step forward, take each failure as feedback, and really put your mind to creating the changes necessary, especially when life feels really hard and when it feels like you're getting hit in the head with a brick, or that you feel like you've been hit by a train over and over again, and each day just seems like a struggle and you feel like you're in this downward spiral. There's a lot of times in our life when we don't recognize that we have the tools and we have the resources to get ourselves up and off of the ground, because we feel like we're not starting from anywhere and we feel like we have nothing left to give. The first thing is to recognize that it's normal to feel this way, that life is a series of ups and downs. Life is a roller coaster, and it's completely normal to have these lows and these highs, especially in today's society when so many of the things that we have available to us can make us feel like we're not good enough and that we can have this worthiness story come about. I really wanted to focus this video on recognizing that it's normal to have ups and downs in life, and life might feel like it's going great, and all of a sudden you wake up and you feel like today is just not the day that you want to do anything. You'll have those days when you feel completely inferior, completely unmotivated, lazy, feeling like a loser sometimes, and feeling like you don't have anything to give. The day before, you might have felt amazing and great and super motivated and feeling like you were the right person to do the job that you were given. Whether that be your boss telling you that you have this assignment that you get to churn out, or you working for yourself and maybe you're trying to create something for yourself because you know that you have this vision and purpose in your life, and you wake up and you're like, today is just not the day that I can do this. And even on those days, I'm here to tell you that there are certain ways that you can get yourself in the right headspace and in the right mindset to get the things done that you need to get done, while also taking care of your mental health. I want you guys to recognize that your circumstances do not define you. Whatever you are feeling in that day does not define you. What does define you is the decisions and the actions that you take from whatever you are feeling, and how you choose to shift in moments, even when you feel like it is the end of the world. Let's get into my first point. You get to feel the hard stuff. The hard stuff hurts. It's painful when your head is telling you that you're inferior and you're not good enough and that you're a loser and you're not meant to do the job that you were given. It's really hard to get out of your body and to feel like you can put action towards anything. So when you're feeling the hard stuff, rather than pushing it down, stuffing it down, or doing something to distract yourself, the first thing I want you to do is to choose to sit in your pain. Sit in the hard stuff. Sit in the stuff that is making you feel uneasy and uncomfortable. I'm not saying that I want you to continue to spiral down into this place of destruction and this place where you feel like you are completely low and not going to be able to get out of it. I just want you to be aware of what you are feeling and the pain that you're feeling, or the hurt or the hard stuff. Let yourself feel it. So as you're allowing yourself to feel it, you are processing. You are letting your mind and body catch up to each other. You are allowing yourself to process what is going on and letting yourself feel it wholeheartedly, 110%. You doing this is going to allow you to not push away something that you're going to have to do later. You're feeling the situation head on right now, and you know that if you don't feel the pain and if you don't feel the hurt, that it's going to somehow manifest into some of your actions or your decisions later. So the whole point of the first thing to do by feeling the hard stuff and feeling the pain is so that you don't allow this darkness or the hard pain and hurt to manifest in your actions and your decisions, or affect the way that you're going to move forward from this. So make sure you're feeling out your pain and your hurt. That is actually the number one thing that people skip when things get hard, because it's our instinct to go to distract ourselves by doing something that's going to immediately give us that instant gratification. So much so, we're told in society that if you're sitting in a corner crying, or if you're in a room and you close the door and you're in there for hours, that you're depressed and you're not doing the things that you need to do, and people just tell you to go outside and do this and it'll make everything better, or don't cry, you're not supposed to cry, you're not supposed to feel these things the way you're feeling them. And being told all those things creates a lot of clutter in our mind. It just allows us to create the story even further that we're a loser and we're unworthy and we're never going to be able to get out of this cycle. But in actuality, you sitting and feeling what is going on with you is what's going to help you get to the next step of how you get out of whatever is hard for you in this moment. So allow yourself to feel that. Number 2 is know that it is okay to ask for support and help. Sometimes we feel like we are the people in our lives that have to hold up the entire house. We are the pillars and the foundation and the structure, and we have to hold it all together, and that we have to lone wolf everything out by ourselves. I'm here to tell you that it is okay to ask for support. This one is very important to me because I used to have so much trouble when I was struggling with things, or when things were just not going right in my life, that I would keep it all to myself because I didn't want to unload onto others, and I thought I was bringing them negativity. But if you know the people in your life are there for you, and you have a good circle around you that is going to be there for you through thick and thin, these are the moments that you get to ask for support and ask for help. So in number 1, we talked about feeling the pain and feeling the hard stuff. And if you know you've been feeling the pain and the hard stuff for more than a couple of days, and you know that you're just sitting in darkness and you're unable to initiate even small actions, this is the time where you can go out and ask for support. Tell people what's going on with you and ask them maybe about some of their experiences and what's going on with them. So 1, you don't feel alone. And also, being vulnerable is going to be your superpower in this, in recognizing that when you share stuff and you allow that stuff that you're feeling to get out of you in a way where you're expressing and you feel supported and held by others, you are going to be able to step out of that darkness quicker and step into light. So just know that it's okay to ask for support. Sometimes we don't really feel comfortable in asking for support, or we don't feel like we have the right people in our life. So when it comes down to that, I want you to take out a piece of paper, and I've mentioned this in a couple of my other videos. I want you to just write out everything that's going on within you. All the white noise, all the clutter, even if the words don't make sense, taking whatever you're feeling and putting it out onto paper in words is going to help you get a bigger perspective and bird's eye view when you go back to read it. So in this moment, just choose to write out all your thoughts in a stream of consciousness type of format. So you're getting out all the things that you're feeling that are inside of you. At this point, you've already felt all of them. You have sat in the emotion. You have let it out, whether it be through tears or screaming or listening to cathartic types of music. And now you're getting out whatever you're feeling in the form of words. Doing this is going to help you get perspective. The next thing is, if you feel like you're in a position to start getting active, I would start with baby steps. Going outside, even in the sun, and just sitting on your porch or sitting on stairs, as long as you're out in the sun, actually helps you to feel better. I know it sounds silly, and sometimes we're really in this hard space where we don't even feel like we can get outside. And that's why I say, if you're ready to be in that place where you can at least step outside, vitamin D from the sun is so important and gives us energy and momentum, even if we're just sitting outside. Usually just sitting outside in nature gives you this new perspective that everything is going to be okay. So if you're in that space, definitely go outside. If you can take it to the next level and get active, whether that's a walk or a run, or maybe walking and running doesn't speak to you in this moment, and maybe it's just dancing. Honestly, maybe it's just rolling around in the grass. Whatever it is, something active, something where you're going to be outside, you're not going to be consumed by what's going on inside of you, and you can be outside focusing on things that are outside of you. It's really going to help you to get energy and momentum so you can put the energy and momentum towards things that you actually want to figure out. Remember when I said that what really defines you in these moments are the decisions and the actions that you will take to shift into what you want to create and really process and plan in that way. So getting active is allowing you to get that energy and momentum from something external of you so it can kickstart that internal motivation that you get to have. I don't know if you guys have had this before, but I'll go outside sometimes and I'll have been walking for only 10 minutes and I immediately feel better than I did before. Even if I wasn't feeling that sucky before, just walking for 10 minutes gives me this feeling of accomplishment, like, oh, I'm doing something for me and my body, and that kickstarts that internal motivation conversation within you. So going out and being active and being in the sun is really just there for you to kickstart yourself, because it's so important for us to take care of our physical health. It's in direct alignment with our mental health. So now let's get into the nitty-gritty things that are really going to help you feel like you're not at rock bottom and you get to start going in the direction that you want to go. The first thing I want to mention is to avoid comparisons. When you are dealing with a lot of things and things feel really hard in life, the worst thing you can do is start having conversations with yourself in regards to how you compare to other people. So maybe there are people in your life that are getting engaged, or they're getting married, or they're getting new careers and they're getting promotions, or maybe they're getting new cars and new purses and new clothes, or they just seem like they're happy. They're in happy, thriving relationships, and maybe one of those parts of your life isn't going well, or maybe more than one isn't going well, or in that moment it feels like none of them are going well. The worst thing you can do is start comparing yourself to those people and start feeling like, oh, I'm a loser because this person has this and I don't have it yet. A lot of the conversations we have circulate around, oh, I'm this age and I still haven't done this. The best thing you can do for yourself is realize that these are limiting beliefs that have been placed onto us from society. We have heard from so many different places that there are certain milestones that you have to hit at certain ages, or there are things that if other people have them and you don't have them, then you are less than. And all these things affect the way we look at ourselves and how we choose to act and how we choose to make decisions. And it also affects how we feel like we're doing on a day-to-day basis. And when we're feeling like life is really hard, usually it comes back to feeling like what we have isn't good enough and that where we're at is not good enough. So in these moments, I really want you to be aware and catch yourself when you are comparing yourself to anybody else. Maybe you're just having a thought about yourself that you feel like you're not comparing to someone else, but when you get to the main cause of why you're thinking about that about yourself, it's most likely because you're comparing yourself to another point of reference. So I just want you to be aware of that. The next thing is focus on what you have control over. A lot of things happen in your life that you don't have control over, but what you do have control over is how you choose to act in regards to what has happened. What has happened has already happened, and there's no way that we can go back in time and avoid that situation. Maybe it's a decision you made in the past that led you down a path of going somewhere for your business that now you feel like you want to shift and redirect from. And instead of in those moments going down the path of, man, I really shouldn't have made that decision, I really shouldn't have done this, I wish I hadn't decided to go this route, what you can do is choose to focus on the way you're going to redirect yourself and how you can get excited about the way you can redirect. So remember, failure is feedback for how you get to move forward. So you don't have control in those moments of the decisions you made in the past, or if something has happened around you, for example, losing your job, or maybe someone broke up with you. You are not in control of those situations, and you are your number one priority. So in those moments, what do you have control over? So let's take the example of a breakup. If someone has broken up with you, in those moments, you get to recognize that what has happened has happened. Give yourself the time to process, feel the pain, feel the hurt like I talked about, and then recognize that you have a responsibility to yourself to understand what led up to those moments. Why is this actually the best thing for you in this moment? How do you get to be there for yourself? The thoughts that you have, the actions and the decisions that you make in this moment is what you have control over. You do not have control over the other person and why they have decided to do this. Instead of focusing on how to make them change their mind, focus on how you get to change your mind in this moment and how you get to redirect and focus on the things that are going to be best for you. So in these moments, let's not focus on who we can blame and what excuses we can make. Focus on the solutions. Focus on the solutions that can lead you down a path of success. And again, I know when life is hard, it really feels like any decision or any action you take is still not going to lead you to where you want to get. But I promise you that you have to continue to believe in yourself. You have to have faith. We touched on the next concept a little bit earlier, but this is all about stepping into consciousness. So recognizing and realizing your fears and your limiting beliefs. The limiting beliefs we talked about earlier had to do with making comparisons to other people or needing to be in certain places in your life or hitting certain milestones by a certain age. So with this step, I want to recognize that there are a lot of fears and limiting beliefs that we do have. And how are those limiting beliefs and fears keeping you in this dark place? How are they supporting the story that you're creating about things being really hard right now? And I'm not trying to say this to make you feel like what actually is going on in your life is not hard, because I completely understand what it feels like to be living in these hard, dark moments of your life where you don't feel like anything is going right. I'm not trying to take away from those moments. But whenever I unravel things and whenever I unwrap them, they always come down to certain fears and limiting beliefs. When I really analyze and become aware of the fears and limiting beliefs that are leading me down the path that is causing me to live in this dark place, I'm able to address them. And in those moments, I choose to be ready to make decisions and take action to shift, because none of us want to stay in this hard, dark place forever. So you get to recognize that you have a responsibility to yourself to get yourself out of this cycle. And in doing that, you get to address the things that are coming up for you. You get to address those hard things that are uncomfortable. So let me give you an example of what that looks like. Maybe you have this dream of being a public speaker. And right now in the job that you have, there aren't any steps that you're taking, or maybe there aren't any steps available for you in regards to become a public speaker. And when you wake up on those days and you feel unmotivated to do the job that you have, or you feel unmotivated to even go outside, or you feel like you have no purpose in life, what are the fears and the limiting beliefs that you have in those moments that are getting in the way of you creating change in your life to that path of public speaking? How do you want to get to that path of public speaking? Are you trying to become a mentor for underprivileged kids? Or are you trying to create a YouTube channel that has to do with self-development? Or maybe it has to do with travel, vlogs, yoga, whatever it is that you're passionate about, that you want to be a public speaker for. What is holding you back from incorporating things into your life that are going to help you become a public speaker? And maybe those things that you are not taking action in regards to is making you feel like you don't have purpose and making you feel like things are so hard because you're not happy about the work that you're creating. In those moments, get down to what are the things that are holding you back from living the life that you want to live, from doing the things that you want to do, and get really real with yourself, because sometimes it's so hard to admit, yeah, I want to become a public speaker. All it takes is for me to sign up for this one class, and I still haven't done it because I know if I do that class, I'm going to have to speak. And actually, I'm afraid to speak, but I really want to do it because I know that's part of my purpose in life. So have that conversation. Do the thing that's scary. Do the thing that you're afraid of. That's when you start stepping into true presence and living your true authentic vision and dream. This last step is really important to me. It has to do with joy. You get to remind yourself of your strengths. What are the things that you are good at? What are the things that give you joy and make you feel fired up to wake up every day? How do you get yourself to embody those strengths on a day-to-day basis? Be grateful for the strengths that you have and how you show up for the people in your life. whatever that looks like for you. I know we all think differently and we all have different perspectives, but remind yourself on those days that you feel like you're a loser, on the days that you feel unmotivated, remind yourself of what you're good at. Sometimes it's just as uncomfortable as facing our fears and our limiting beliefs. It's almost scarier to actually give ourselves compliments and receive those compliments from ourselves. So recognize that you are a powerful, abundant human being, and you deserve to do everything that you are meant to do. You are worthy to be the person that you want to be, to do the things that you want to do for yourself, for others, for the community, in any way that you choose. So go make a list of all the things that you know you are amazing at, all the things that are your strengths, and what things can you start doing on a day-to-day basis that embody your strengths. Because when you start doing simple things that embody the strengths that you have, your creativity and your inspiration start flowing in a way where you start to get more innovative ideas. And as you are being more innovative and as you're being more creative, you feel motivated to do the things that you want to do. And when life is hard and when you're feeling like you're in a rut and you just can't get unstuck, it's so important to remember who you are through these strengths and then do the small actions on a day-to-day basis to get you in the rhythm that's sustainable of you recognizing that you have strengths and you get to incorporate those things in your day-to-day life. I hope this video was of value to you guys. You know how much I love making these videos for you guys. Again, if you're going through a hard time right now, you're not alone. I've been there multiple times in my life. Hell, even yesterday, I had a bad day and it felt like life was really hard. And in those moments, I choose to step into gratitude, and it's not easy. I know it's really difficult, and I just want you guys to know that I'm here for you, and I would love for you guys to like and comment down below. Let me know if you guys are going through a hard time right now. If you guys are, I'm sending you so much love, and I know if you share down below and choose to be vulnerable, others will do the same, and we can all help support each other to get to the place that we want to get in our lives. I love you guys so much. If you guys haven't hit that subscribe or notification bell, please do. I make weekly videos on Wednesdays and Saturdays. Until next time, see you soon.